Yeah, Lars, you're going to be front and center.
Okay, chatting about the kids.
How much can I get for this?
We got so much shit.
Rick,
to do.
get
Think about it.
Get out!
So I am very excited to be sitting here with the big man in charge of the Resellers, Tom Nicholson, the producer himself. Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Tom Nicholson. I'm a musician by trade.
Interesting.
Played music for years. Kind of got into acting later in life, and then ended up behind the camera and found out that's really where I love being. It's making films.
So how did you get attached to this big project, The Resellers?
I was actually hired as an actor.
Really?
Yeah, I was hired as an actor. I came in, and there was some complications they had with what was happening, and it seemed like the film wasn't going to go anywhere. And I came to the creator, Rondell, and said, hey, let me produce this thing. And one of the first things I did was fire myself as an actor. I know, it kind of changes very drastically.
When you're in charge, you make the big decisions. And the big decision was, we just got to let this guy go. That guy being me. You had to let yourself go.
That's right. And I knew there was a better actor for the part that I was playing. And then also I knew that I was taking on a big project and that I needed to spend my time doing that and doing the production end of it and not trying to do everything.
Yes. So what was because you guys had a pretty big cast in this project. I mean, this was the big thing for San Diego. So what was pre-production, post-production, or production the most difficult part of this process for you?
I'm going to say difficult has been hard to enjoy is probably post-production.
Yeah.
We've had to go through in so many things, and distributors telling us to do this and change this, and then things that we just had to kind of sit on and watch and say, oh, we got to change this. So it's very difficult. And I think if anything, that's it, because even the shooting that was 12-hour days, I still loved it.
Yeah,
I loved what I was doing. Post-production, it got to this point where you're just going, I don't know anymore.
I don't want to see the project anymore.
Yeah.
Like, please, oh God. I definitely feel that.
So it was difficult. It was difficult.
So I want to ask, do you have a favorite scene in this project?
Yes, I do. And I have to say it's the opening scene and it's the 70s scene.
Okay.
Yeah, with the kids.
Okay.
It just is awesome. I really love it.
What was your favorite part about that kids scene? I know I've never really personally worked with kids to the extent that you guys did in the film. You guys really brought it out of them. Like, they had popping personalities. I mean, the dialogue was great.
Yes. You know, it's actually a really funny story. So it started off written as 2 kids.
Okay.
And we had all these kids audition for us, and I had to stop returning calls. And we ended up with 4 kids. And the director was like, we don't need to do this. I'm like, I can't say no to the kids. I couldn't.
Yes.
And they were just so great in it. And then their parents got all involved. And we said, we need the 70s gear. And they got the skateboards and the bell-bottom pants. And I mean, everything. It was just so, it was great. It really was. It was fun.
Actually, on that scene, one of the younger actors told me about one of their friends like getting sick from the fruit roll-ups that they had to keep eating. So who was responsible for the...
I was surprised on this, and I actually brought it up with their parents. And what's even funnier about that shoot is it took place on Mother's Day.
It did?
At a park, and all the moms brought their kids, and I'm like, are you guys sure you need to do this? I know, it was really cool. And so we go and shoot it, and then they just start going through these fruit roll-ups. And we probably had like 5 or 6 bags of the stuff. I mean, big bags of it, and they were eating so much, and Kevin was eating it too. And I was like, you sure? And they're like, no, just let him have fun. Let him have fun.
Oh my God, there's like great moms, because I would have been like, nope, no more for my kid.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, these kids there was a complete sugar high. I could tell after hour 1, and they just rode it the whole time because they had so many fruit rolls. And I still do have a bag that I probably should get rid of, but I have a bag of 5, and there's only
Yes.
5 left, and we probably had 150 of those fruit
Wow,
roll-ups there.
the 5 surviving fruit roll-ups. Amazing.
Yeah.
So being on set, I know you guys had a tight shoot schedule. Tell me a little bit about, like filming on such a tight shoot schedule. How did the days look?
Yeah, it was. It was tough. I mean, we did 12-hour days. We were literally, some of the days we were shooting at 4 or even 5 different locations in that time period.
What?
And we had locations pull out on us. So we had to kind of do fast rewrites
Yeah.
on what was taking place. But it
all
worked.
came together,
It came together, yeah. And
4 to 5 locations. I can't even imagine that. Like trying to get people to show up at one location is difficult. I'd imagine as you guys made it to the next set and then the next set, you got more people following out.
what we learned is the actors that we were dealing with on those shoots, those became our best friends. Hey,
Yep.
you're gonna ride with me.
There you go, right? Carpool. Everybody's
right.
making you carpool.
That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't, and so we really kept on that,
Yes.
schedule. But it was, it points, even that we shot it in this 13-day period, at points, I like to say, it looked like one of those kids' soccer games where you see the little kids and it's this big bundle of them and the soccer ball will go flying out to another location and this whole bunch of kids just go over it.
Get over there.
Yeah, and
Now we're
that's
doing
what we were
something.
doing. Like, okay, this is our new location.
That's good.
And that, actually, I kind of thought this as we were going. It was like a mission. When we're going on a mission.
Yes.
And that's literally what we're doing is a bunch of little missions to get the scenes.
Get the whole scene shot and filmed. Oh my God. And in the 13-day period, that's crazy for a feature film.
Yeah, we were very fatigued from it, but we actually got the stuff done. It was crazy.
So how was it being in the trenches with Kevin? I know you and your DP, like you guys were really like hustling it out.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. We of course, we'd go at it. We were so close, but we had spent literally 4 months together living at my house, going through pre-production, and I think that's really the reason that we were able to do what we did is we spent so much time doing Zoom rehearsals and really getting people into their part where by the time they showed up, they knew what they needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. So was there any scenes you guys were kind of tossed on, like whether or not we want to keep this scene or whether we want to do something different and add something else? Were you guys kind of like set in stone, like script and scene, they matched up and you guys were good with it? Or were there some things
about half of the time that worked, and then the other half of the time it was just kind of riding on the go. There was a lot of stuff Kevin had a vision for that I didn't quite get what was happening with it. I just kind of rolled with it, and it turned out great. It really did. I mean, the stuff turned out great. So we did have to break from the script many times. Probably the biggest scene in post-production that I had problems with was what we call the family scene.
Yeah.
And it's actually Rick, the character Rick, his family. It kept going too long. We had to cut it down and we expanded it and we did all kinds of stuff and played with it.
Yeah.
But actually, most of the other scenes in the film, they just worked.
Really?
It was crazy. They really were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from working on this project, I want to know if you were a shoes enthusiast before this project. Was that a thing for Tom? Was Tom like wearing the freshest J's? Was he a reseller or was it just new to you?
I was not a reseller. A little bit older than this kind of reselling thing that's going on, but definitely into shoes.
Okay.
But I grew up skateboarding. Skateboarding and surfing, and so we ruined shoes, but we still would buy the best skateboarding shoes.
Interesting.
And I wish I had collected some of those at that time period, but that was it. I've always been into shoes, but not reselling. And then getting a taste of this reselling industry is just crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And,
You finding out the money that can be made in it, right? Wasn't it something that was like eye-opening for you? You were like, oh my God, these kids were making how much? It's a crazy experience.
Yeah, we shoot in the original film that we were shooting. We're shooting at this shoe store, and the guy says, "Hey, will you do a commercial for me?" And I said, "Yeah." And so I'm like, "Okay, meet you back over here." And he said, "No, I've got this other place." And so I go to this other place, and it's this beautiful mall in Chula Vista, what is it, East Lake area?
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, East Lake, beautiful mall, and he has the old Victoria's Secret suite, like 6 rooms, probably 2,000 shoes in there.
What?
And he goes, yeah, I'm expanding. I've got another one that I'm opening right now too. And I was just blown away. I went, it's really that good. He goes, yeah, it's going great for me.
Wow. And it's crazy that that kind of thing is still like a thing. Because I remember when reselling was super popular when I was in high school. I mean, kids were definitely waiting outside, sleeping outside, having people wait in line for them. I mean, Jordan, Nike, Foot Locker, they cleaned it up so that people are not standing outside anymore. You got to get a ticket, to do it. But it's just really crazy that there's still money to be made in reselling shoes. And it's such a big thing with a lot of money going on. Like, they even had sneaker conventions, like you guys depicted in the film.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not a super popular thing amongst like an older crowd. There's a lot of people that just don't know about that world. And it's really cool that you guys are bringing it to life with the resellers. And I don't imagine, or I don't know if that was kind of like your thought when you read the script. Like, I'm bringing something to light that is just wasn't a thing for me. Like, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, originally, as I was hired for the actor, so I auditioned for the part, and I read the script, and I was like, wow. I'm like, this is really cool. I had no idea of this. It's a very original, great idea.
Yeah.
And I did. I was like, I just did not even know this was going on. And then once I started to delve into it, dealing with the film, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing what's going on with these guys and what they're doing. And it's like you had said, Foot Locker, because that's how it was. But now there's all these independent guys. And even in the film, we don't have Nike in the film. We have all these small business, independent shoemakers.
Yes.
Literally with great product, and it's just amazing what's gone on with it.
I love that so much. Like, even the showing those shops, the small business owners, because it's not just the big kind of conglomerate groups. They're shoemakers, shoe lovers. You know what I mean? There's real like they hold a lot of weight in the shoe game that people don't know about. And so I wanted to ask about the mafia group, right? So whose idea to add that? Because as I understand, there was an initial script and then there was a second script. So whose idea was it to add them?
That actually, I'm going to give Kevin Gray the full credit on that one. That was his idea. Didn't quite get it at first. And I was like, okay, now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And there was just certain stuff in the writing as we were rewriting that it really demanded something like that.
Yeah. To
help to explain what was happening. It's very hard to explain this. Collectors.
Yeah.
That's what, I'm at a point, I guess I've dealt with it so much now in the reselling, is I look at them as collectors. But they are reselling is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, Kevin Gray for Mafia.
Mafia?
That was,
okay. Well, I love that. I love the idea. I love the concept. And I really love the focus on the small business, the small resellers, and then the money to be made in this underground kind of network of reselling shoes. So I want to ask, is there anything that you want to share with the viewers that you feel like they may not necessarily get from just watching the film? Like, any kind of insight you want to give them?
I believe that everyone has a great story in them.
Yeah.
You just have to focus on it and try to put out that story. Put it out in a book format or a film or anything that you can do. I think everybody has something in them that everybody else would enjoy watching.
Yes, I love that. That feels really good. Like, telling other filmmakers, telling other creatives, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you get boggled down when you don't feel like you have the funding or you don't feel like you have the network. But you guys took the resources that you had and you turned it into something huge. I mean, the resellers, I don't know how many was in the cast, but it was a pretty large cast. It was very San Diego based and spirited. You guys took it and turned it into something huge and amazing. And so that little bit of snippet that you gave there was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I guess on this note, it was 56 speaking parts.
56 speaking parts?
Yeah.
Oh my God. that's a heck of a job.
It
Shot in
was.
13 days.
Yep.
Oh God, you guys are amazing. On the great big things. And I really cannot wait to see the premiere of the project. And I'm very excited for the future with this film.
Thank you.
Yes, it was great having you on, Tom.